everyone, welcome to News Wrap-Up on Aspheric TV. I am Dayo Olujumo Ekonie. Good and beautiful Uncle Mustilala is here.
Good evening, viewers. Good evening, viewers.
Uncle Mustilala, how have you been now?
I'm okay, I'm good.
And how's the day been? The day's
okay.
still on,
it's
but
okay.
it's not done yet.
Yeah.
Oh, President Muhammad Buhari led government on Monday said that there won't be fuel subsidy anytime soon.
Yeah.
But looking at Nigerians, looking at fuel station and the panicking we have right now, what do you have to say about this?
Well, Nigerians, I'm sorry to say that Nigerians were opportunists. You understand? So once you give them that room, they will seize that opportunity and use it maximally to their advantage. So you understand, prior to I think towards late last year, there's this rumor, not just rumor, from the Minister of Finance. She made a comment regarding removal of fuels subsidy
in July.
So she said it. So and not only in 2021, prior to 2021, I think around 2020, there is this outcry from NNPC and the Minister of Petroleum regarding the landing cost of fuel in Nigeria. So which they put the price above 170 naira. And invariably, if you look at it, that if it costs them, the landing cost alone is about 170, and the fuel per PMS per liter is being sold for 165 or thereabout. You understand? It means government is subsidizing the difference. You understand? So when they started calculating that, look, this is what it costs us to import fuel. Right from that moment, Nigerians already knew that government is heading towards somewhere. So you will discover that they were no longer at ease. It's like a cat and dog. Even on but I will make it clear so that you understand it. One, the subsidy itself is economy. It's all about our revenue not being able to meet up with our expenditure. You understand? Government is living on budget deficits. The budget deficit now comes that government has to look for more money elsewhere, either from internal borrowing or external borrowing and grants to support the extra of what it requires. The revenue is no longer sustainable. So that is why they have to fall back on loan. And what they are saying is that every year, over 1 trillion is going on servicing of subsidy, fuel subsidy. So in other way to get out of it, they said, okay, we'll remove the subsidy.
The subsidy.
And it's not only Nigerian government alone. The World Bank group, they now push Nigeria to say, okay, for you to get out of this problem that is coming, remove the subsidy. Don't give subsidy. Let the market forces determine the consumption of a fuel and the pricing. So, but if you look at it very well, Nigeria is like an economy, that is what we call it. It's just a consumer nation, whereby the average income is just, the minimum wage here is 30,000. So you discover that apart from the income, there are some other variables that contribute to the economy. This thing. So you discover that now, whether we like it or not, one day government must remove this subsidy, whether we like it or not. So this pronouncement now is like suspending the doomed day, because we already know that Nigeria is already suffering budget deficit. So we cannot continue with this subsidy regime. But the average Nigerian man is grappling with the issue of inflation, unemployment, and some inequality. These are facts that are before us. So you discover that if already the income of an average Nigerian is already burdened. So when the income is already burdened, and then you are now bringing up issue of removal subsidy. The removal, will it lead to decrease? No, it will lead to increase in price. So you discover that increase in price means if you are taking 30,000 naira, part of your 30,000 naira is going into paying extra more. So that is why Nigerians would not like to take it for a play at all. They will not take it lightly. They are ready to fight it. So at least the labor union, they have already, both the NLC and the Trade Union Congress, the TUC, all of them, they have already issued directive to the 36 state chapter to say, look, stand by, we'll hit the road for protest. Okay. When the government now saw that, I think it's supposed to be like tomorrow. Yes. For that. So government now saw it, they said, okay, let's quickly preempt these people. And that is why they now rush out. If you look at it, it's more of politics. Now the economy meets politics. Okay. At the National Assembly yesterday, when they made this pronouncement, the Minister of Petroleum, she was there. The Minister of Finance, she was there. The Minister of State for Petroleum, he himself was there. The Senate President, he was there. And if you look at it, these people, they are all APC men. So, and we are approaching election year. You understand? What cost Goodluck Jonathan defeat? January 1st or January 2nd in 2012, people were still celebrating the Yota period. He now said, okay, a new price regime. And I can tell you, Dayo, that look, part of the problem that Goodluck Jonathan had started from that pronouncement. Yes. And the opposition, the people, although the APC was not better then, but the very people that converged and formed APC, they were the people in the then that constituted the then opposition to subsidy removal. So you could see that it's more politics now meets economy. You understand? So at the best time that would have removed that subsidy, by now Nigeria would have gone ahead to put it behind and would have been used to the issue of new price regime. By now, probably the price of fuel must have come down. You understand? So because it's all about refining our crude outside and bringing it back again. So you understand? Probably by now would have solved the issue of refinery, to refine our crude here and be selling here. You understand? But then, because of political interest, people now rushed out statements that are supposed to have supported the then president to say, okay, let's reason together. This is a problem. We cannot continue like this. I could remember vividly then General Muhammadu Buhari said who is subsidizing what. The videos is still there. So you discover that politics mixed with economy. You understand? So now APC now says that, look, if this problem of over this subsidy removal should start, we may not get out of it till the election year, and Nigerians will give us all sort of names. So they now quickly rush to say, okay,
it's not going to happen anytime soon.
It's not going to happen anytime soon, and that is why both the National Assembly, the Minister of Finance, she's an APC member, Minister of Petroleum is an APC member, and all other committees within the National Assembly, they are all members of the APC. They now gather and say, look, behind the scene, I believe they must have cautioned President Muhammadu Buhari, say, look, sir, Your Excellency, if you go ahead with this, it will affect our chances into 2023. So let's suspend this thing for now. The incoming administration, if they like to remove it, let them remove it. But for now, let's continue to manage this till after 2023. So on the final note regarding this, so Nigerians should not go to sleep to say government has not removed it. The fact is here. It's like when you have 10,000 naira and they are spending 12,000 naira. So where are you getting that extra 2,000 naira from? That is the problem. You understand? That is the problem. So whether we like it or not, it's either two things are involved. It's either our moribund refineries are put in order to start refining here, refining what we will consume here. Otherwise, we'll continue with this subsidy. And once we continue with subsidy, it will continue to drain our revenue. Already, we are suffering problem of revenue. So that is the problem. So I didn't mean we have SS. Government around the world give subsidy on what they feel their citizens need. So, but in our own case here, transportation is very crucial. Transportation is like the engine room of production. Once you touch transportation, it will affect virtually all aspects of life. From that increase, a hike in price of PMS in 2016, up till now we have not recovered. Up till now we have not recovered from it, because if you observe very well, the inflation that we're talking about now started from then. Now we're having about 13 to 14% population inflation, which is not normal. You understand? So we have to government should not just go to sleep to say, okay, we have suspended this thing. They should dialogue with labor union and all stakeholders within the industry on way out. It's only dialogue that can save us from this situation.
Oh, wow. Well, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has banned the production and registration of alcohol in sachet and small volume PET bottles in the country. Well, according to reports, the agency's Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, made this disclosure during an event in Abuja yesterday. She stated that the registration of new alcoholic drinks in sachet and small volume PET and glass bottles above 30% ABV alcohol by volume has been banned. She also added that the agency will ensure that the validity of the renewal of already registered alcoholic product in the affected category will not exceed the year 2024. Uncle Musti, I know you are aware. You're aware of this.
Yeah, I'm aware. And when I saw it, I laughed. You know why I laughed? Because you cannot. It's not ideal for a government to bring a policy that the enforcement will be problematic. That directive is, to me, is counterproductive. Counterproductive in the sense that, look, while you are trying to achieve something, you end up creating other problems. You understand? if you see these substances that have been all packaged in a small bottle or anything, you go to motor park, you see them everywhere. You see them; they are hawking them here and there. Even underage children will buy them and be drinking. So you look at it now. When government now just wake up and said, okay, stop producing this and packaging this thing in this, automatically it's all about pricing. It's all about the price. This one is more affordable. When something of 500 naira, they can buy for 30 naira, 50 naira, 100 naira, they can buy and consume. So if government is now saying, okay, stop in sachet, give it to only bottle, and this, even the bottle, this is the quantity that it can, like that, and it will be selling for 300 naira. Some of these guys, they will not have 300 naira to buy that. So they will now go for this one, 30 naira, 50 naira to buy and consume. So you understand? When you now stop this, some of them, it's all about getting high. You understand? So people, some of the addicted alcoholic guys, they will now say, okay, let's try something like weed.
Just we can't acquire
we can't afford this. But even weed is regulated, but they have their own way of getting around it and get it. So they will get it. They will adulterate some other things to get to mix a kind of a mixture of concocted things, and they will be getting high. It's all about getting high. So to me, I believe that what governments should have done is regulate abuse of drugs and keep on desensitization, because even these substances, some of these they are injurious to the consumers. The consumers' health.
But you can't force people to stop taking them.
You can't force people to stop taking it. So the government, I believe, what they are trying to do now is to regulate the access to it. Once they don't make it in a cheaper format, to say, okay, you get it in a sachet, at least they will now look for. It's all about alternative, having access to an alternative. You understand? They cannot afford the one in a bottle for 300 naira, but they can afford to make an alternative to that. So I don't know how NAFDAC has studied everything regarding that, but they are the policy maker. They are in the system. They know, they must have studied the behavior of people to it. But I still believe that based on what we see from the streets, it will be difficult to enforce. It's either people now take to a valuable alternative. Don't forget, there are some other local liquor, like palm wine, like in the north here, they call it the burukutu. There are other ones like that too. So even people, even the other one, ogogoro,
they use them for herbs.
So there is a way, they will find a way to go around it. If NAFDAC is saying, don't package them in this thing, what about people that are producing the local gin? You understand? Would they go after them? You understand?
Will you stop the palm wine tapper?
Will you stop the palm wine tapper? Will you stop that sapele water that is coming from Delta? You understand? So people will still go around it to still get their satisfaction. So NAFDAC should still look around. If they are going to license those that brew the local gin or the palm tapper, so we shall see.
Well, there's also a rumor, not confirmed yet, that this is happening because of the rate at which students are taking alcohol. In secondary school, students are taking it to their schools. So it's not confirmed yet, but if that's true,
the moral decadence, it goes far beyond regulating access to alcohol. Some of these boys, some of these children in secondary school, even primary school, some of them, they are into they abuse drugs, tramadol, codeine, they abuse them. Last time I saw a viral video where a secondary school children smoking shisha. So how did they get access to this pot of shisha? So you understand, these are some of these things. So like we discussed it here on one of the programs regarding education, you understand. it's all about our education system. It needs reform. You understand? Era of leaving our words to only the school to handle, it has gone. It's no longer feasible for only the school system to reform or mold the children. The parent too, these children, they are coming from homes. Some of them, their parents give them that money. Some of them, through one way or the other way, they steal from their parents. Some of them, their children, less than 14, 15, 16, they already belong to court. You understand? So, and if NAFDAC is now saying, okay, don't produce this thing don't package them in sachet, because if they don't package them in sachet, it won't be cheap, it won't be affordable. So you understand? But these children, they have their ways of getting high. If you check them, most of them is not. They don't even get high through only those
alcohol.
Only those ones, erujeje and some other of these things. They don't get high through that. There are some other things like concoction that they mix. I don't know whether you have seen video. Maybe like that. You
some
see
mix.
they mix something like that with like
coke.
You see them when they buy, you know, their own sciences, their own R&D researches is on how to get high, but not how to break through in innovation. So that is a problem on its own. So NAFDAC should not kill people's business in the name of trying to fight abuse of alcohol. So you understand? Because if you go to the street, there are people that hawk these things. Some of them make a living, feed their family from hawking these things. So by the time those smaller quantities are not packaged like that, what do you want them to do? They should close their shop and just go.
I want to ask you a question. Do you think this is a rash decision?
It's a rash decision.
Linking it to the Twitter ban also. Do you think, relating it to Nigerian government? Do you think we are rash when it comes to decision making? Because
you see,
the way it's going.
You see, rush in decision making. You take decision. In most cases, decision. There are process in taking the decision. Processing in taking the decision. Decision is not just, you don't just arrive a decision alone. There are alternatives too to the decision. You first of all identify the problem that you want to take a decision on. So after identification of the problem, you now check the path to the solution. You understand? So, but in our own case, we just wake up all night and just like that. It's some decision that the government take on behalf of the nation, they'll just take it based on their body language. Take for instance, like the ban on Twitter. It was just a decision that came on what? Because Twitter now removed tweets by President Muhammadu Buhari, and you can imagine that over how much billion was lost because of that decision. You understand? So, although government has their own way of looking at things, but they should put into consideration the economy. Nigerians, they should look at it too. I'm not saying that the decision to regulate this is bad, but they should have considered some other options to say, okay, we want to ban sale of alcohol in sachet. You understand? They should have considered some other options too. There are, if they are saying because of people are abusing it, children are abusing it, there are some other ways of going around it. Whether you like it or not, these children, the one that was not properly guided from home, by the time he's stepping to the school, it's like the gate is wide open for him to go and explore the world. Freedom. So you understand? So they will still mix some other substances and get high.
Well, the national leader of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been warned that a previous statement credited to him, in which he said he doesn't believe in one Nigeria, may scuttle his chances of becoming president in 2023. To this end, Tinubu has been told to apologize to Nigerians now that he is going to become the president of a United Nation.
So you look at it, you understand. Yeah, I know this will come up. If you don't believe in Nigeria and you want to become president of same Nigeria, how are you going to do it? It's a matter of trust. You understand? You understand that when they are doing your swearing in, what they are giving you a constitution of Nigeria, I swear by. You understand? So once you don't believe in Nigeria, how are you going to reconcile your then stance and now? What has changed? You understand? But let's look around it to why did he make such comments? It was the darkest day of Nigerian history, military era. All of them, they were in Nadeko fighting the military regime of Abacha. So I believe he said that then, which is I cannot see him, Tinubu, saying the same thing today. But the fact is that statement is statement. It's not only Tinubu, even we here. You don't know where you'll be tomorrow. We should guide our utterances. What you say today might come back to haunt you tomorrow. So you understand? It's a very heavy statement. And the newspaper that he made that featured that newspaper caption is still there. That is what they are sharing now. So if you are a frontline APC member, in fact, one of the strongest, that people now believe that most likely you might end up taking this ticket. But this is your statement. What is your view regarding what you have said then? As a politician, I believe that he will still come out with excuses. But that apology, I doubt if he will apologize to say this. But he will now come around it to say, look, it's like when Ojukwu, you know Ojukwu? Odumegwu Ojukwu, he was the Biafra leader. But later on, he now came up to struggle to become a president between 2007 till he died. You understand? Even before then, he participated in the 1983 election under MPN. So that is it. So Tinubu, he has said this before. Now he's vying to become president of Nigeria. How do we reconcile these two? He has to give Nigerians that answer. How do we reconcile this? You don't believe in one Nigeria, but you want to become president of one Nigeria. Today. How do we reconcile this? He has explanation to make. Days to come, weeks to come, months to come. I believe his campaign committee, they will offer Nigerians this answer.
People are really rooting out so many things that has to do with.
The thing is that once you are in the political terrain and you are vying for any public office, be ready to answer questions. Because our kind of politics, not only in Nigeria, is everywhere around the world. Once you are vying for public office, you should be ready. People will go to the extent of digging your past. If care is not taken, they will dig till the day you are born. So I believe that Tinubu has baggages of explanation to make, because we are talking about just this one. Don't forget that I saw yesterday on this thing that one of these media, they say that Lagos State government has increased the consultancy fee for Alpha Beta. It's a kind of leasing agreement between Alpha Beta, which they allege that it belonged to Tinubu. So they collect the revenue in Lagos, the internally generated revenue. They collected the internally generated revenue on behalf of Lagos State government, and then pay Lagos State government, and then Lagos State government now give them something in return. So what they are now saying is that Alpha Beta now, the Lagos State government now increase from either 2 billion now to 2.7 billion to fund Tinubu's campaign. So you now see how they put it now. So politics is a game it's a dirty game. When people say it's a dirty game, it's a dirty game. If you are clean, don't come into it. If you come into it, you should be ready to fight it dirty. So days to come, months to come, Tinubu and his campaign council, they have a lot of work to do, because more and more will keep coming. Remember, they are talking about the 2 billion vines sighted in his compound during the election day. So that one is there, of which EFCC said last year they said they are investigating. So, but you and I, we know quite okay that to investigate Tinubu is something of, if they say they are investigating Tinubu, how long does it take to investigate one single person? So, we have a way to go, a very long way to go, but I believe that more and more accusations will keep on coming out.
Well, popular Nigerian gospel singer Sammie Okposo has been accused of impregnating a lady after cheating on his wife. Well, the lady, African Doll, a US-based lady, revealed in a recent interview that they met in Texas, and he invited her to some shows he performed at African Doll, and African Doll added that Okposo accused her of trying to disgrace him and destroying his ministry after she informed him about her pregnancy. According to her, the Nigerian gospel singer told her to terminate the pregnancy and also blocked all means for her to reach him. And just recently, he made a post on Instagram apologizing to everyone and also to his wife for being involved, being intimate with a lady, African Doll. That was last year. And well, that was after the lady, African Doll, came out to accuse him of impregnating her. Quite unfortunate.
Really unfortunate. You know, one thing, there is something around fame. When you have crossed the bar and attained that status of celebrity, a lot of things go with it. You are no more that your normal dyer. You have crossed that bar to become a public dyer. A lot of temptation here and there. You understand? It will be coming. So, your manager should be able to guide you and put you through. Dyer, don't do this. Dyer, don't say this. Dyer, you are not supposed to be seen here. Dyer, don't take a public taxi. Dyer, don't eat here. Dyer, be mindful of what you say. Dyer, be mindful of people you associate with. And aside that, there will be your manager, there will be a kind of a concept. He will package something like a concept whereby, what if all these things I'm guiding Dyer failed and this crisis now come? How do we mitigate or manage this crisis? So, to me, I don't think what happened to Sammie Okposo is a problem now. It's not, to me, it's not a problem. But how to get out of it? First of all, he needs the support of his wife. Whether the accusation is true or false, he needs the support of his wife first. Then his fan, you understand? His fan base, he needs them to support him too, to be able to overcome this present crisis. Let's go into it now. The lady said they met in Texas, and she informed him of her pregnancy, and he now discarded her and blocked. Do you think, if something serious like that is there, do you think he's stupid to say, okay, I'll cut all communication between them? It's not a small boy.
It's not a small boy.
It's a media person. It's a personality. Apart from being a
There's
music
no
man.
way you can cut
So,
her.
do you think that he would just call her bluff and said, okay, to hell with you, go and do your worst and block all channel? Because when somebody is saying he blocked channel of communication, what it means is calling her bluff. Go and do your worst. But to me, I don't think a personality like Sammie Okposo today, because if you are talking about gospel singers in Nigeria today or in Africa today, at least he will be among the first 100 of gospel singers in Africa, not only in Nigeria. If you are talking about Nigeria, if you are talking about 10, at least his name will feature among them too. So, if the lady is saying that, look, he blocked all channel of communication between us and said I should go and terminate it, it's like when you are talking about a teenage boy telling a girl of his age to say, go and do this. I don't see the possibility of somebody like him telling that lady to say, go and do this. You understand? So, but it has happened. It has happened. So, what is remaining now is the post crisis. How is he gonna come out of it? Well, I saw the Instagram confession. His Instagram confession, which is the best thing to do. You are blackmailing me with this pregnancy issue. He has come out openly to say, to apologize to his wife. I believe he must have done that at home. He has come out to his wife to say, look, I'm sorry, I have done this. He didn't stop there. He said, look, I'm stepping down all other ministerial work until God now call me back and restore it back. So the problem has solved. The lady blackmailing him, that problem is over. It's no more a hidden thing again. The whole world is aware that, look, I have done this. Whether he's the owner of the pregnancy or he's responsible for the pregnancy, we are not talking about that. But he has admitted that, look, something happened. You understand? First of all, he apologized to his wife and he talked about the larger society. So the aspect of blackmailing him or threatening him with this thing, that one has been solved. So what is remaining now is the reaction of his wife. Whether she like it or not, it has happened. It has happened. What is required now is for her to support him to overcome this trauma, to overcome this phase. The worst that could happen to any man is having infidelity problem. You understand? I know how his wife should be feeling, but let's say we are begging on behalf of the larger society to say, okay, madam, please support him to overcome this phase.
Definitely. Well, so unfortunately, but we believe that he's going to bounce back, just as he has said, God restoring him back. And advice to everyone who is a public figure, including me, and we should all be careful. Whatever we say, we should always remember that there is a future. We shouldn't just say things in the now. We should think about the future. Even while we are doing things, we shouldn't just do it in the now. We should think about the future also. Thank you all for staying with us on Aspheric TV. News wrap up. I am Dayo Olujomoy Kunin.
Mustafa.
Good night, everyone. Bye.